Hey, welcome to Lawnmower Care. Today we have a good one. We have spindle bearings that we want to replace. They're not too bad. If you have an impact, so you can impact this hex nut or whatever they call it. We have the part number for the bearings here from Amazon. For 2 bearings, it's pretty cheap. It's like $10 or something. Pretty cheap. I mean, they're pretty basic bearings, probably used in a lot of stuff. The bearing itself has a part number of 6203RZ, but pretty nice. What I would recommend doing first is getting an impact with a 24 millimeter, putting it on reverse, holding the pulley here, taking this nut off, this here, and then just pushing this through all the way, or tapping it with a hammer, and it'll fall right out, and then we'll be on the other side where I suspect the bearing is toast because it had bearing noise. Top bearing here is okay, it seems, but I think it's the bottom. There's a top bearing, 2 spacers, and then a bottom bearing. So let's get into it. And then here's your bearing here. Look at the bearing just come apart. That's crazy. Spacer, you need that. Wow, just the little ball bearings are just falling right out of there. And then if I take the camera itself and just show you what it looks like in there. It's pretty gone. Let's see if we can knock this top bearing out. And then we'll try to go after this bottom casting. I think we got it. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay, so let's look on the floor and see. There it is. And there's the bearing. And you can tell it doesn't want to spin that good. So there's the old bearing. Now we'll go after this bottom one, and then we'll be able to put our 2 spacers back in and the 2 bearings. And get a little bigger hammer. Try again. Persistence usually wins. There we go. Now you're cleared for new bearings. A little WD-40 goes a long way. You just clean that up in there. I'd spray everything with WD-40 and keep on moving on. We have the new bearings. Got them on Amazon. We'll clean this up and start putting our new bearings in. You could always take the old bearing, clean it off, kind of line it up to the old bearing, and give it a nice little, so it's flush. That's pretty good right there. And then you can always spin it to make sure you don't have any dead spots in there, and we're good. Now we need to flip it upside down and do the same on the other side. Now we got it flipped up. Don't forget to put in your spacers. We had 2 spacers. So kind of line those up. Stick them back in there. There we go. And then we want to take our new bearing, put a little WD-40 on there. And we want to just tap our bearing so we can make sure that that center is lined up. There we go. Then I want to line up my center. There we go. And then we take our hammer and old bearing and kind of tap it in there. Sometimes that spacer likes to lay down. What I usually do is on the back side, I stick that shaft through just to kind of line everything up. Now you don't want any threads to be sticking through, but everything's lined up. I take my old bearing, just give it some taps. Once you are confident enough, there we go. And there's your new bearing. It's in there. So, my way might not be the best, but for just everyday tools, a little bit of WD-40, a little bit of persuasion, this is what you get. Now what we can do is slide our shaft through. Spaces are in. We'll get our shaft here. You throw your shaft in there. Make sure we give it a small tap. And you can see, nice and smooth. Pretty sweet. Then what we want to do is go to the top of the mower with our pulley and nut here and finish the job. Anyway, you want to slide your pulley on, tighten this down, and then we want to ratchet it on. We don't want to use the impact. Then we torque it, and then we slide it back under the tractor, or we do the other two. This has been Lawnmower Care. If you like what you're watching and you want to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.